trespass is forgiven, so you can understand. I'm in love for the first time. I think it's real. All these things I have inside of me make me want to disappear, and I would die again if I thought it would keep you here. Oh. All have little tricks they use to make you change your mind. Who's to say that you're not one of them this time? I wanna say it's just too easy, it's all so effortless. No cuts, no scrapes.
Well, me and Colby met on a Europe trip in Rome, and before the trip we would have little meetings about giving us history on the places that we would be going and we would be seeing. And in one of the meetings they gave out a piece of paper with everyone's passport pictures on it, and I decided to scroll through the pictures and look at who was going to be on the trip, and I saw his picture and I thought he was very good looking, and I leaned over to my mom and I was like, that one's mine. And she's like, oh, she's like, this trip isn't for dating. She's like, don't say that. And so there was different, how was it, like different stages, I don't know.
Yeah, you
different
could,
like packages.
You could choose a couple of different trip options. And so I was just flying in straight to Rome, and she had done a trip earlier than that which took you to Greece. And so that's how we kind of ended up in Rome. And so on my first night there, I was just out in a courtyard talking with one of my friends. And it was kind of funny. We were watching everybody who walked into the courtyard. Everyone kept tripping because there was this little ledge there. And sure enough, what do I see pop up? It was Tessa. She came up, and as soon as she was coming out to say hi, and so she was like, "Hi, I'm Tessa." She fell right on her face.
I was absolutely mortified, and that was my moment to shine, and I failed.
Yes.
And then throughout the trip we would just kind of talk and just kind of exchange conversations, nothing too big. And then it was our last night, and we were in London, and we had just gotten done at, I think it was Phantom of the Opera, and we took a taxi home, and he took the tube?
Yeah, the
Tube home. And so I had to wait in the lobby because I had been carrying around a piece of paper with me for a couple days with my number on it. And I was like, I've got to give it to him. I've got to do it, but I was just too nervous to. So my mom made me stay in the lobby and wait until I got home. And so I saw him standing by the elevator, and I just kind of walked up behind him and just slipped it in his pocket. But right as I slipped it in his pocket, he like grabbed my hand, so I was really worried that I dropped it or something. And then it was about, I think, a week after I got home, he texted me, and we went on our first date.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we met.
Yep, in Rome.
So, I'm trying to... The proposal was actually pretty hard to plan out. It took a while. So I wanted to do something a little bit special, and it was around the time of Valentine's Day, so I thought, well, maybe I could do it sneakily where she might just think it was for Valentine's Day. And so I remember I really wanted to give her a day in a fairy tale. And so I was talking to one of her friends who she works with, and I was able to get her the whole day off. And then I made up this huge poster of everything that she was going to do so that she was a princess and that she was living in a fairy tale. And so, first thing first, I got her the day off of work, and her favorite thing to do is to sleep in. And so that was the first thing on the poster was, go back to bed, you're going to sleep in today. And then I had her set up at a day spa where she was going to get pampered for a few hours. And so, yeah, she went there, and then we got all super dressed up, you know, like we were in a fairy tale, and we went up to Maddox. And so we had a really nice dinner there. And then at the end of the night, I wanted to have a moonlit ball. Unfortunately, there was no moon that night, so we had to do it by car light.
Still romantic.
Yeah. So we went up to a place that we loved just to go sit and talk. It kind of overlooked the city. And so we went up there and we were dancing, and then I asked her if she'd want to marry me.
Yep, and before that, we were getting out of the car, and he kind of was like, oh, he's like, I gotta tie my shoe. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I've never seen him ever have his shoes untied. And so I looked over and he's reached under the seat to grab a box, and I was like, I kind of panicked. I was like, okay, look away. I
Yeah.
was like, act surprised, act surprised.
Because
So-
little do they know, these ring boxes aren't as small as you think they are. Like in the movies, they're like these little tiny boxes. Well, mine came in a box that was probably about that big, so it's like I could have just hide it in my pocket. So I was like, well, the only place I could do it is under my chair in my car.
And so when we were
So-
dancing, he kind of had his shoulder kind of pushed away, and I'm like, well, that's weird, but it had this big bulging box in his jacket,
Yeah.
so it kind of made sense. But.
Yeah.
And I said yes.